This is Sty North. Okay, today we're going to touch a little bit on a video request that one of my subscribers had submitted. He asked me if I would do a video on trapping. Well, that's kind of a broad area, so I'm going to touch on a couple of trapping methods. I am going to do a video on doing a body hold or scissor type trap. I'm going to do a deadfall video, and I'm going to be doing a couple of snare videos. I'll get them up on the channel as soon as I can. If you'll notice, and first thing we're going to do is go over what we need to build some of these things. And if you'll notice, I'm still geared up. Just got in the woods. You can see my pack. I'm wearing my day pack. And you can see the backpack I'm wearing. Well, that goes back to another video. The pants pack. Check it out if you'd like. I wore it today because I had a bunch of material back at the homestead that I've decided I'd just carry out instead of doing it here on the site. So, what we'll do right away is we're going to discuss what's in this pack. You know, people saw the video, and now they'll get to see how much this pack can carry. There's a lot of material in here, and we'll get it all out here. These are all components for building snares and traps. You're going to think, wow, is that a lot of stuff? If I'm in a situation where I'm really, I got to get myself some food, and I got to build all this stuff, well, the majority of these items I created while I was in camp. When you're sitting around the fire and don't have much of anything better to do, you might as well build yourself some snares. You might as well build yourself maybe a couple of traps. Instead of just sitting there enjoying the fire, enjoy the fire and do a little whittling too. Get yourself prepared. Help put some food on the table. So, I do think in my day pack I may have a couple of items I may have to check. But for now, I'll go through what's here. Well, I'm going to just set my pack to the side here. Take this day pack off, get it out of the way. Set that off to the side. Okay, a lot of components here. This is a simple trigger for setting up a snare. We'll be going over that when we do the snare video. This is a trigger that I use in a deadfall. I call it a double baited trigger, and you'll see how that works. I also use this trigger, by the way, in my body hold, or better called a scissor trap. Some people call it a primitive conibear. You'll see that in that video. I have several stakes that I have made that have, as you can see, I have plenty of them. And what I do is I look for these saplings with a branch growing out of it. Forgive me if the lighting's not too good, because it's that time of year and it's getting into fall and our lighting just isn't the best out here. But you find a branch with a Y in it like that, cut it just below the Y. You invert it, cut that little piece off, sharpen the stake. And you'll see that in a future video as to how we use these. And I made several of them. I've got 6 of them here. Okay, now, this is for a specific snare set that I'm going to be showing you in the snare videos. The trigger, and this is a cross piece that's used with two of these type stakes, and we'll be showing you that. These are the components for a body hold trap. Now, most people wouldn't go to this much effort. Now, you can find sometimes, can't count on Mother Nature always being there to have everything set up for you. Sometimes you can find two saplings that are nice and close to each other. They replace two upright stakes. Now, I have 4 stakes for uprights. In the event that on my game trail I can't find 2 saplings that are within, say, about a foot apart, 1.5 feet apart. If I can't find it, if I can find 1 sapling, I can use a single stake there. But you need 4, and the odds of you finding 4 saplings that are growing, 2 of them about 2 inches apart, and about a foot, 1.5 feet apart, to find 4 saplings exactly like that, it's going to be pretty rare. So you'll see it when we build the body hold, how these play into it. These 2 pieces are the cross members that will go on those 4 stakes, 1 on each side. These 2 pieces are your actual trap. They will be lashed at the bottom. They'll have a lashing to one side, another lashing on the other side with nothing but a loop in it. This lashing is going to be through that loop and up into a sapling that's going to act as your spring. And when it closes, it snaps these 2 sticks together quite hard up through this frame and pins that animal against the frame, usually breaking its neck or its ribs and killing it rather quickly. So we'll be showing you that in the body hold trap, in the primitive body hold trap. Now, one thing you may notice is that most of these sticks, well, I should say all of these, I have gone ahead and I've notched these. I've pre-notched every one of these with 2 notches approximately 1 inch, 1.5 inches apart. I've done that with all 4 of the legs, the stakes. I've done it with the 2 cross pieces. These 2 pieces, I put a notch about 1 inch, 1.5 inches in from the base and from the end on both of these. Okay? Now the reason I put these notches in here is because when you're going to lash these together, it's much more convenient when you have these notches to get your line to drop in, because you're going to be doing a square lashing to lash all the frame together. Okay? These, you're just lashing them together. I'll be showing you how, and you will find it much easier and much more dependable if it's notched. Your lashing will not slide. You want this trap to be solid, and when it slams shut, you want it to pull that animal against the top bracings and not have this thing slip off of a post, free the animal up, or not properly dispatch the animal and allow the animal to suffer. So those are all the components we're going to be using for the most part. The other thing we'll be using here, and that's something that I happen to have in my pocket, is some cordage. I don't know if you can see that. This cordage it's made by Greenhead Gear. It's kind of difficult to find. I've been having not much luck finding it. And what it is it's a decoy line. This is what they use for tying out duck decoys, goose decoys. It's very water resistant. It's very strong. And it comes in 200-foot rolls. And I think I paid like $9 or $10 for this. Now, you can use bank line. Don't get me wrong. Bank line works just as well, and in some cases, much better. If you're going to build a trap like this and you want it to last a long time, you're going to use it for more than one season, and you're just going to put it away in a nice dry place in your cabin or whatever, I would use bank line because it's tar covered, it's protected, and it's less apt to rot. Decoy line, after one season, you have to really check it, make sure it's still in good sound condition, because it can rot over several months. So, but I like decoy line, and I do use bank line. So, but for this case, we're going to be using decoy line for setting up these snares and this trap. So, with those things in mind, and all of these parts, this is just your introduction to my trapping and snaring and deadfall. Some of these are deadfall components. We'll be getting into that. We'll be doing probably do a figure 4 deadfall setup for you. This is the intro. This is what we need. When we get into these things, I will have these things pre-lashed together, ready to put on my game trail, so that we're not wasting time on the video lashing everything. However, I would ask that you look at my video on square lashing versus the Japanese Mark II lashing method, and familiarize yourself with the lashing methods I use for putting this together. Okay? So, with that, I'll let you folks go, and please follow up this video and look at the trapping and the snaring and the deadfall videos when they come up on the board. I hope you enjoy them, and I appreciate you coming and watching this. I'm going to move on and keep working on my videos. And from Stein North, Big Jim, Rory, here at Camp Wilderness Thriving Fundamentals, you all have a nice day.